This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy Sim in the building. And ladies and gentlemen, ended up being a pretty good win by the Knicks. A joyous occasion tonight. Joyous occasion. A lot of energy in the building, although I wasn't there. I could feel it. I could see it. A lot of energy in the building with Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett returning to the Garden for the first time since being traded to the Toronto Raptors, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we're going to talk all about it. Make sure you support the channel. You can support the channel by hitting that Cash App, which is $ nothing but Knicks, or through PayPal at paypal.me/nothing but Knicks. That information is pinned to the top of your YouTube chat. It's also in the description of this video. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what. The first half of the game had me a little bit nervous. A little bit nervous because the Knicks were turning the ball over like crazy. A lot of turnovers tonight for the Knicks. They were turning the ball over like crazy. And Toronto was playing with a lot of energy. Right? Toronto was playing with a lot of energy. RJ Barrett, Immanuel Quickley, they came into the building ready to go. And they played well. They both played well. For at least most of the game, they both played well. RJ had 20 points tonight, shot the ball well. Immanuel Quickley had 12 points and 11 assists, shot the ball well, ran the team well. It wasn't enough because the Knicks demolished them on the glass. Demolished them, out-rebounded them by 30, ladies and gentlemen. But in the first half, the Knicks went into the halftime only up by 2. They went down by 11 in the first quarter. They went down by 11. Now, they stormed back in that same first quarter, finished the first quarter, tied at 31. In the second quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks played well. Toronto played well. They weren't going away. The Knicks, I think, maybe built an 8-point lead or something like that in the second quarter. But Toronto stormed right back. It was a 2-point lead going into halftime. Third quarter, the Knicks finally got down to business. It's like the game settled in. The game finally settled in, and the Knicks took control of the basketball game, grabbed a double-digit lead in the third quarter, and they never really looked back. Maybe one time at the top of the fourth when Toronto was, they tried to make a little bit of a run, but the Knicks quelled it. End up with a 26-point victory over the Toronto Raptors. But ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot of love in the building. A lot of love in the building. RJ showing love to Randle. Randle showing love to RJ. Quickley showing love to Randle and Jalen Brunson. You've seen that at the end. Right? So that can quell any rumors that Immanuel Quickley had some animosity towards Jalen Brunson. It was all love tonight. The Knicks with a very nice tribute to both Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. They did a very nice job during the introductions of introducing RJ and Immanuel Quickley last for the Toronto Raptors. They got a standing ovation from the crowd. Everybody showed their love for both of those players. And then during the first quarter, about halfway through, when the Knicks were down 27-16, and I think the Knicks called a timeout, they did a nice tribute to Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. Neither one of those guys expected it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Immanuel Quickley was holding back some tears. He was fighting it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no doubt about it. When they did the tribute, they were zooming, even before the game. When they were introducing IQ and RJ on the bench, they did a close-in shot of RJ, and you could see him closing his eyes and taking deep breaths. He was trying to calm himself down. I'm sure the nerves were crazy. The nerves had to be crazy for him. And then during the tribute, he was doing the same thing. So I know he was fighting back a lot of emotions, right? And rightfully so. You know what I mean? Rightfully so. This was a had to be an emotional game for both guys. Julius Randle said it, said it really well at the end of the game. And he said, New York raised these two guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. So there was a lot of love in the building. A lot of, it was a fun game to watch. I'm pretty sure RJ and IQ are glad to get this game out the way. The next time they come back to the Garden, you know what I'm saying? There could be a little bit less pressure and energy surrounding the game. But it was it was nice to have him there. And, allow them to feel the love from the Garden and all that kind of stuff. So, good game, fun game, good game, and now we move on to the next, ladies and gentlemen. And I see people already talking about Isaiah Hartenstein and Jericho Sims. We are definitely going to get into that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's listen to Tom Thibodeau and his thoughts on tonight's game, and then we'll start breaking it down. Let's go. Let's get it. Tom Thibodeau.
First, midway through the first quarter, I think it goes down about 11. Just seemed to turn it on right from there. Jalen, a lot of it.
Yeah, I thought, we started slow, and then our bench came in and gave us a really good lift, and that got the energy into the game. I thought Jalen was terrific. Julius was Julius. But you don't want to overlook what OG and Josh brought to the game. And they made so many tough plays for us. And that got us going. They spread you out pretty good, and it requires you to make a second, third effort. Thought Dante gave us really good minutes, and Precious was terrific. So that's huge for us. Thought Quentin's defense really good, and we needed everyone. Deuce had a really good stretch for us in the first half. That gave us a spark.
Given the emotions, were you expecting them to come out strong to start, and how did you kind of weather the emotional side?
Yeah, I think just be ready, for the game, and that's emotion is part of it, but you have to understand what goes into winning, what goes into preparation, and you don't want to deviate from that. So every night there could be something, and I think being ready to play is huge. Like tonight, our rebounding was terrific, and I like the shots. We just got, our turnovers were too high. We got to fix that.
What's do you have an update on Isaiah?
Sprained ankle. I haven't talked to medical yet, so we'll see where it is tomorrow.
Do you know how it happened?
I don't.
You talk a little bit about guys getting in line and spreading it out. Julius seemed, even with 7 turnovers, to be every time just looking.
Oh yeah, he made so triple double, and you just played really hard and tough, and they were small, so we did a lot of switching and did a good job with the switching, and that's the great value when you have. I thought there was a good stretch with we had Quentin, Josh, and OG, and then Precious gave us some really good switches as well. And so, that's big.
Where did you see Precious's fourth quarter come from, and did you see stuff you can take from that?
Yeah, you just want to build every day. I think played hard. Probably extended minutes helped them, and I think familiar with, the opponent. But each day, just get in there and play as hard as you can. When you do that, good things come from that.
Where do you see in a game where Isaiah gets hurt? You're obviously down Mitch already. Obviously, Pirtle wasn't playing, but just to out-rebound a team by 30 points, by 30 rebounds, without your starting center and the starting center that person is replacing.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? I know you have a lot.
Well, that was one of the things we knew that they would play small. So we thought, okay, we have a big advantage rebounding-wise, so let's really try to emphasize that, take advantage of it. And the other thing is, I feel really good about our center position because, and Jericho is, he's ready. So, when his opportunity comes, I know he'll do well. And he's active, a great rebounder. He brings a lot to our team as well.
What do you see with, it seems like every other play now, especially with all the stops you guys are making, OG is already on the other end of the floor when you guys get a chase down or you guys get a rebound and there's a run out. Is there something about the way that you guys are operating on defense aside from just
I think it's a big part of his uniqueness, and his versatility, his strength, because it's a rare combination of power, strength, speed, agility, anticipation, in a big time motor. He can make 2 and 3 efforts on a play, and he can keep going, and he never quits on a play. And I think those type of effort plays inspire the team. Then everyone, and Josh does the same thing as well. Then you got a couple guys like that, and throw Quentin in there, and really that's what got the game going the right way. And Deuce was part of that as well, as was Precious. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tom Thibodeau. Ended that conversation talking about OG. 14 points, 7 rebounds tonight. He's getting more comfortable. You seen Obi when he was out there with that second unit, scored 6 points in a row, and he created some of those shots. I think he created all 3 of those baskets when he scored 6 points in a row. So you can see OG beginning to get comfortable playing in the offense, playing his role with the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, and I think the team is getting comfortable with what he does, right? You heard the reporter ask about OG already being down the floor. You know what I'm saying? That's something that he's able to do, and then his teammates they know to look for OG running in transition so he can get those dunks. And I think he got a big one today that I felt, I don't want to say changed the game, but put the Knicks back on the right track. We'll talk about that later in my key play of the game. Put the Knicks back on track when it felt like in that top of the fourth quarter they were maybe going off track just a little bit. Right, but OG, 14.7 rebounds tonight. The Knicks were led in scoring, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks were led in scoring, and excuse, we got a phone call coming in. But I'll get to Silk in just a second. All right. The Knicks were led in scoring by Jalen Brunson, 38 points, 9 assists from Jalen Brunson tonight. And Jalen started off the game hot. As a matter of fact, in the first quarter, Jalen and Julius were the reasons the Knicks were close or remained close in that game. And then Jalen obviously was a big reason the Knicks came back in that first quarter. Right, Jalen Brunson started off hot. RJ was actually guarding Jalen Brunson in the first quarter. I didn't think Toronto would do it. He jumped out. I think he scored maybe 13 points or something like that right there in that first quarter. Sent a quick message that RJ wasn't the guy to put on him. Shot the ball well, 56.5% from the field, 45.5% from the three-point line. Julius Randle had a triple-double, 18 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists. He did have 7 turnovers tonight. We're going to talk about those turnovers and why the Knicks are turning the ball over, at least tonight, why I thought they turned the ball over a lot. All right, 18 points from Precious Achiuwa, 18 points and 11 rebounds. His best game as a Knick by far. He was 9 for 10 from the field. Josh Hart had 10 points and 9 rebounds. Dante DiVincenzo had 17 points. Contributions all over the board, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah Hartenstein played 23 minutes tonight. I can say only played because normally he's playing near 40 minutes. He got in foul trouble early in the first quarter. Then he twisted an ankle, did not return to the basketball game. 2 points, 4 rebounds, and I'm pretty sure that's an issue that a lot of Knicks fans are concerned about, ladies and gentlemen, because the Knicks are down to Precious Achiuwa and Jericho Sims. We're going to see how that works out. Let me get to my man, Silk. Silk, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
How you doing, Sam? Good emotional night.
Yeah. An emotional night, but a good one.
Like I said, if we had to choose it, this is how we would like to do it. Let the kids have a good game, but we end up winning anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly how it happened.
But the one thing, Sam, this is the thing I'm kind of worried about. Luckily, there is no Rick Pitino press and trap teams in the NBA right now. But if we run against a team that can know how to press and trap us, I worry about our passing because that's when we can get a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
For a long team who can press and trap.
Yeah. 20 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. 21 turnovers tonight. 21 turnovers.
First half. Yeah, the second half we hardly had none. But the first half.
So let me tell you what I see that teams do to the Knicks. Right? The Knicks throw a lot of cross-court passes. And I think what teams are doing is, like, if Randle has the ball, and even if a double team is coming, right, instead of playing, they're really sagging into the paint and they're keeping their hands high to try to grab those cross-court passes. The Knicks throw a lot of them. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle both throw a lot of cross-court passes. Sometimes to each other, sometimes to other shooters out there on the perimeter. And guys are jumping those cross-court passes. You know what I mean?
I thought Julius might have broke Precious' hand with that bullet. He tried to throw him in the low post.
He fired that joint down there. I mean, I couldn't even get mad at him for not catching that one. He fired it down there. But, the Knicks throw a lot of cross-court passes that are kind of dangerous. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they get there. Right? They get there. But I think teams are recognizing these cross-court passes and jumping those passing lanes.
Yeah. And it was kind of funny how that announcer, I forgot who said in the beginning of the game, said, watch out for Precious. When he plays against his ex-teams,
he has a good game. He shows up, has a good game.
He plays good against Miami because Miami drafted him and traded him. And now, so maybe we got to put his ex-teams on a video before he play a game so he can get motivated.
Right. Well, listen, the Knicks, Precious is, if Hartenstein is going to be out the next game, Precious is probably going to be the starter. Jericho Sims backing him up. How do you feel about that?
I probably would do it the other way. I would keep him on the bench with guys he's used to playing with right now, let's put Sims back in the starting lineup. He did it before. He did it for 7 games last year. He wasn't that bad as he was this year when he got shanked on with that one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Go ahead and start Jericho Sims and keep Precious coming off the bench. But still, how do you feel about those two at your center position?
For a week,
positions.
2 or 3 games, I could live with it. Longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks play again on Tuesday. So, there is a couple of days for him to rest. We'll see how he feels, but they play on Tuesday against the Nets. They may be able to get past that one, but then on Thursday, they play the Nuggets.
Yeah, I don't think even if Ihaw's there, we might not make that one, but I keep hope alive. But
yeah, I don't know. The Knicks may bring back Taj Gibson.
Not Western Raiders Taj. He was breathing heavy last time.
I mean, they need a third. They're gonna need a third string guy out there unless they bring up the guy from the G League. Well, they might have already, they bring the guy from the G League up.
Yeah, he's still there. They took him off the two-way and they re-signed him in the G League, so he's still there as a G League player.
I think the Knicks, given that Mitchell Robinson is out for the season, I think when the Knicks make a move, they've got to think in terms of a ball handler in the center.
Yeah.
You're
probably right.
Yeah,
my dream of Brogdon and Burks probably ain't going to happen. It's probably be Brogdon in the center.
It's got to be. The last 2 weeks, the Knicks have seen, including tonight, the Knicks have seen, I don't want to say everything, but two big positions that they need. And it's come up and said, hey, it's like blinking lights. We need another guard, and we need a center. So Jalen Brunson goes down, and we struggle from the guard spot. Isaiah Hartenstein is down, and you're like, oh, man, we got Precious and Jericho Sims. We need another guy. Blinking lights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Leon Rose got to respond to those lights.
And just like last year, when you pressure Deuce, he fumbles and bumbles and turns the ball over. He can't handle ball pressure. A good ball pressure guy.
Yeah, Deuce had a rough one tonight. Deuce had a rough one tonight, handling the basketball. Getting a little bit of pressure.
No, but you got a guy who can know how to pressure the ball, like what's his name? Because Miami did that to him last year.
Mm-hmm.
He can't get past him. He can't pass. He's
Yeah.
But I want to ask you a question. Because I saw something. That's why I said we can never trust Danny Ainge. I heard the Clarkson thing. The Knicks moved away from it, because Danny Ainge is demanding a first-round unprotected pick to take on Fournier's contract. Like, he got a contract for 2 years, and it's not expiring. So he just don't want a pick. He wants an unprotected pick. And that's when the Knicks walked away from him.
I mean, that's Danny Ainge. He doesn't like the Knicks.
Come on.
He don't like the Knicks.
But like this, logic says our unprotected pick is going to be higher than Dallas's protected pick. He just want to hear him saying that he got an unprotected pick from the Knicks.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to have a better record than Dallas.
Maybe. I don't know. Dallas is good.
Not in the West. I think they're not. We're going to have a higher seed than them.
It's possible, but those picks will probably come in around the same range. I think Dallas is 24-18. The Knicks are 25-26-17. They might come in around the same range.
Yeah. So why are you demanding an unprotected first when you know you're going to get that pick this year anyway?
Right.
That's Danny Ainge.
I guess the only thing teams with it being this early in the season, let's say Luka goes down, that could all change, or Kyrie goes down, that could all change. You know what I'm saying?
Or Mitch don't come back.
Right. Or but having that unprotected pick, having a protected pick from especially the Dallas pick, knowing what Mark Cuban did last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, I ain't messing with Mark Cuban, because if something happens over there, he has no fear in tanking it out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So I guess that's that's where he is with it. You know what I mean? But Danny Ainge, he don't like the Knicks. He's a former Celtic.
Right.
You know what happened with Donovan Mitchell and that whole thing? He's not trying to do the Knicks no favors.
I know. He's still trying to get Grimes on the cheap. No, you ain't get Grimes on the cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they might just do Brogdon and that's it, and a center, and keep Grimes till next year.
I mean, they might. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But the Knicks have got to get. I mean, this is the perfect time to go get DeMar DeRozan and Andre Drummond. I'll just say that.
But I don't think Bulls are trying to trade them. They're weird.
They might not be. I mean, the Bulls. I guess they still feel like they're in the running. I guess.
They keep trying to trade Levine, but nobody wants Levine because he hurt again.
Yeah. They are still. They're 21-23, so they're right there. They're in the play-in.
Okay, they get to the play. What they doing? They ain't going nowhere.
I agree. They ain't going nowhere, but you know what I'm saying? They probably feel like, hey, we're here. We're going to try to do something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Listen, I see people in the chat saying Drummond is a bum. He's washed. What is he going to do? But right now, the Knicks can use a guy like Andre Drummond as at least a rebounder.
Exactly.
You don't have to start him. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to be playing no iHeart no 40 minutes a game.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to start him. You can use him situational if you want to. Who knows? But he's a guy. Right now, Hartenstein is out. He can get you 10 points, 10 rebounds, easy. He can. You know what I'm saying? Block some shots. He's a big body. He can rebound the basketball. That's all you need.
But my backup big, if you can get him, is Gabbert from Washington. That's who I wanted the backup big.
Daniel Gafford. Well, we'll see what goes down there now that they got Marvin Bagley. I still think that they'll probably use both of those guys. Either way, the Knicks got to find somebody.
Right.
They need somebody. They need another guard. Now the Knicks, they turned the ball over tonight, but for the most part, they played well. Toronto's defense isn't that great, though.
No, but like I said, they got shocked by because not too many teams do that heavy trapping like they were doing.
Yeah,
that was like Rick Pitino Knicks trapping.
Yeah. Especially in the beginning of the game, they were trapping Jalen Brunson. They had RJ denying him the inbound. You know what I'm saying? And then when he did get the ball, they'll send two. They might send two towards Julius Randle. They were like, we're going to make somebody else beat us. And, it really, it had the Knicks a little confused in the first half, but the Knicks figured it out. Once they figured it out, they busted the game wide open, and there was nothing Toronto can do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
And they don't have that many scorers, though.
No.
That's the thing. Quickly and RJ and Gary Trent started missing. They don't have nobody else. Nobody else, yeah.
All
right, sir.
Yeah, so, it's nice to see the Knicks get the win. They play the Nets next. And hopefully we get that. And then we got that one. And then we got the big dogs coming up. Denver.
Yeah, that's an after that. I got to fill a bit. We need IHOP back for the big dogs. But the Nets, I ain't worried about the Nets.
The Knicks need to go ahead and get the win versus the Nets. If the Knicks win versus the Nets, they'll be 10 games above 500. They'll be 27-17. 10 games above 500. All right. When is the last time the Knicks were 10 games above 500 this early in the season? They're not there yet. If they get the win, they will be. When is the last time? When is the last time they've been 10 games above 500 this early in the season?
Carmelo Anthony, when they went to the playoffs.
It's been a while. So, let's get that done. The Knicks 8-2 in the last 10 games. They've won 3 straight. See if we can take off the Nets, win 4 straight, and stay in this battle. Right now, the Knicks are a half game behind Cleveland. They are 3 games behind Philadelphia. And we're right back in this position. Cleveland at the 4 spot, the Knicks at the 5 spot. Cleveland is hot, though. They've won 7 in a row.
I know Cleveland's hoping that's not how it ends up at the end of the year. They don't want to see us again.
Yeah.
Especially OG now? Nah, they definitely don't want to see us again.
Yeah, but, so the Knicks got some moves to make, man, to shore up this roster for the remainder of the season. They got some moves to make.
We do. But I'm stuck on Brogdon because I know Murray ain't gonna happen, and these other guys, Claxton and Sexton, you got to deal with Utah. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, right. Got to deal with Utah, and you know how that goes.
Yeah, so
Know how
Brogdon's
that
the best
goes.
choice so far.
Yeah, Brogdon will be a good choice. You know what I mean? You know, to shore it up. Does he move the needle forward? I don't know, maybe a little bit, but to shore up that, I think it'll help a lot. To
I think
shore
with
up the ball
Brogdon,
handle.
Deuce will still get some playing time because they're not gonna play Brogdon every game. So just the way you're not just sitting Deuce on the court on the bench and not doing nothing.
I mean,
He'll get a couple
I still
games.
think to get Brogdon, you might have to give up Grimes. I still think you might have to.
Nah, I don't think so. I think
Because-
you gotta give up a number one pick, Fournier and Malachi.
Okay,
Malachi.
maybe. Portland is probably going to ask for Grimes. I'll tell
Whoever
you that.
Grimes play, they got plenty of guards.
They
They don't got that many points. They got plenty of guards.
Yeah, they got guards, but to have another asset in the cupboard, so you can make moves later on. You know what I mean? Who knows? But when is the trade deadline? February 8th?
Yeah. I think
February.
it's like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, like 3 weeks from now. It's February 8th is the trade deadline. So there's a little bit of time.
I don't think the Knicks would give up Grimes for Brogdon. It would have to be somebody younger and that same like a Murray. Yeah, they'll give up Grimes, but Brogdon, they might try to get him without giving up Grimes.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this: would you rather Alec Burks or
Grimes?
no, Malcolm Brogdon?
I'll do Malcolm Brogdon.
You do Malcolm
If
Brogdon?
I wanted Burks to take over Grimes' spot at the 2 guard.
Okay.
I wouldn't want Burks at the point guard. So I still need a guy ball handler who can get the lane, get to the hole and rim, who's more smoother than Burks. Burks is our wing guy, defender, shooter. But Brogdon can get to the hole and get to the rim.
Okay, Brock.
hit a three.
Burks is a little cheaper, a lot cheaper, about $10 million cheaper, $12 million cheaper. His contract is shorter, but I believe the Knicks might want that contract so they can use that guy in a trade later on. So,
Right. See, I see the only way Grimes is going for somebody who's over 30 is DeRozan. I don't think the other guys over 30, the Knicks will be trading Grimes for guys who's over 30.
yeah. Man, if I'm the Knicks, I'm pushing for DeRozan. I am, but
That's what I want too. But
we haven't
Chicago
heard
ain't-
anything about the Knicks, being interested in DeMar DeRozan. So, maybe they're not even interested.
I haven't heard nobody is DeRozan getting close to getting traded. It's only Levine. I ain't heard Chicago talking about trading nobody else in Chicago except for Levine.
Yeah, I mean, well,
So
look,
he's the only one they trying to move.
yeah, because Levine has the contract, the big contract, and all of that stuff. DeMar DeRozan's contract ends this year.
Right. So he should be the one easier to move, but they ain't trying to move.
So
So we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Silk, I almost called you Slick. I don't know. Silk, I appreciate
So
it, bro.
I'm some Slicky Silk now. That's what we doing.
Slicky Silk. Yeah,
All right, sir.
appreciate it,
I'll
man.
let you next time.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks have got to make a move. They got to do something because, they don't have. They need a center. You know what I'm saying? They're going to need a center out there. We'll see what Precious and Jericho Sims can do versus the Nets, assuming that the Knicks don't make a move before then. You know what I mean? We'll see how that looks. They'll definitely be small. If Precious is starting, first of all, we need to see, how severe this is with Isaiah Hartenstein. I didn't even see when it happened or how it happened or anything like that. I don't even think Tom Thibodeau knows when it happened. You know what I mean? So we got to see where that is, and then, see what happens. See what happens from there. I mean, Josh, what's going on, man?
Sam, what up?
I'm good.
Listen, I just want everybody to understand what the Knicks are doing right now. Like, I think based on all the moves they've made so far and how they're playing in the regular season, I think this season that we're looking at right now has been in phases, right? So before we made the switch from Quentin Grimes over to Dante DiVincenzo, I was not a big fan of the move at the time. I thought that, if they were going to make the move, they should wait, right? But when they made that move, they played much better offensively, but they were also not good defensively. Then they made the trade for OG Anunoby, got rid of RJ Barrett. They were much better defensively, and now we're struggling a bit on the offense. And it's because we also gave up quickly, right? So I think what the front office is trying to do and what Tibbs is trying to do, I think it's obvious, they're trying to add another creator in here. I don't think we should panic as Knicks fans. I think that they're continuing to build this team. They understand the position that they're in right now. But they're going to make another move right now and bring in another creator. I personally would like Alec Burks a lot. I think we can make the Quentin Grimes move. Even though he is an expiring contract, we can still make that move. And Alec Burks can come in here and contribute right away as a taller guard. Now, Evan Fournier's money is the big thing. I think that's what the Knicks are prioritizing as far as their cap. They have to be able to extend Evan Fournier's money by making that trade. So let's see what happens, but I'm not concerned at all. At all, Sam.
What do you mean concerned? You mean about the Knicks, the team?
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned at all during the regular season. There's going to be ebbs and flows during the regular season. I think this team is going to be a playoff team, and I'm just personally, based on the moves the Knicks make, or if they don't decide to make moves, I'm looking at how this team is going to perform in the playoffs because they're going to get there. So, based on everything they're doing right now, I'm just looking forward towards the playoffs. It's going to be ups and downs, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I fully had the expectation that they're going to be in the playoffs. But the two needs are pretty clear. Of what's needed for this basketball team. Without, let's put it like this. You can stagger your lineups and use Jalen Brunson more and use Julius Randle more, but in order to, make sure that you don't wear their tires too thin, you need that other guy. So hopefully it happens by the trade deadline, man. Hopefully it happens by the trade deadline. We got 3 weeks. That's more than enough time to get something done. So, something could happen in a day. You know what I mean? More than enough. And, the front office, they've made a few mistakes, but for the most part, they've done a good job of figuring out the right people to bring in, so, I trust in them that they're going to make the right move when they bring somebody in.
I do as well. And that's why during the regular season, sometimes we have, it's the ebbs and flows of it. We say that we need this and we need that. But I do trust the front office to make the move. And I am personally under the impression that they're looking for another creator. That's no question. I think they're looking for that. Now, that player does not have to be a prototypical point guard. It can be someone who's a combo guard. As long as they bring someone in at the guard position that is able to create, I think that's that's the first priority that this front office is trying to do, right? Whether they need Fournier's money or whatever the case may be. The reason why I like Burks, because even though he's an expiring contract, the Knicks can use Grimes' money plus the traded player exception to get that deal done. It's a one-year deal. They can bring him in, and I think that team with him off the bench can compete. I do not think the Knicks should prioritize center. I understand the frustration with Mitch, and now we got Isaiah Hartenstein going down, but I just think we prioritize our center position way too much. I don't think we should prioritize the center position right now before the deadline. I think if anything, if we're going to improve our front court, it should be creation from a guard position and then someone to back up Julius Randle. No more centers.
Well,
centers.
For me, it depends on the injury to Isaiah Hartenstein. You know what I'm saying? And how serious that injury is. The only thing we know now is that it's a sprained ankle. There's different grades of severity to a sprained ankle. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to depend on how serious that sprained ankle is. You know what I mean?
Well, what if it's serious? Like let's say, knock on wood, Isaiah Hartenstein is done for the rest of the season. You telling me the Knicks should sacrifice an asset to improve the center position?
I didn't say that they shouldn't get a guard. I didn't say they shouldn't get a guard. I said they should get both. And there's ways out there where they can get both.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you as well. I just think that I would prioritize it as a creator from the guard position, a backup four, and then I would put center position all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, I tell you
and
what,
that's
I'm not going to be real comfortable moving forward with just Precious and Jericho Sims if Hartenstein, God forbid, but were to be down for the season. I wouldn't be real comfortable.
Even if you were to get that creator off the bench, you still wouldn't be happy with or comfortable with that.
I mean, I would still say that we need to find a center. Yeah, even if we get that creator off the bench, because now we're losing. We dominated the glass tonight because this team was small and didn't have, they didn't come in as a good rebound. I mean, they had 31 rebounds. Since the trade, they've only been averaging 41 rebounds, right?
Right.
But if you're going with Precious and Jericho, who I know Jericho is 6'9", 6'10", and he can jump and do things. But I think we're gonna be struggling to compete on the glass.
Defensively or offensively? Which side?
Both sides.
Okay.
I think we're struggling to compete on the glass, both sides. We talk about length. I think obviously we get instantly smaller. And I think we would have to make a move. There's people out there you can get for cheap.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if the
team.
Knicks can be able to pull that off, I would totally agree with you. But I don't think I think the priority for this particular team, even without Hartenstein, without Mitch, and the small stature, as you say, at the center position, the priority should be guard. And the reason why I am emphasizing that is because OG Anunoby can be able to play up. I think you can be able to do whatever you do defensively, particularly on the perimeter, because that's when the Knicks were struggling before, and you can be able to get stops that way. We will definitely struggle in the offensive rebounding category, for sure, no doubt about it. But if we make more shots, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah. And I think the creation for this offense right now, the Knicks offense is not the best right now. OG Anunoby is going to be a catch-and-shoot kind of player, may create sometimes. Same with Dante DiVincenzo, as I mentioned before. But we've noticed since the trade, that the Knicks offense go through these periods of dry spells where teams double Brunson. They may put their taller defender on Brunson. They may double Randle, and there's nobody else to create. And that's the stagnation of the offense that I'm talking about. So for me, if we're able to add a creator to what we have now, I think we can be able to at least be able to maintain our play, particularly now, and I think also during the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you don't add, guard. Obviously, you need it, but at the same time, I still think you can add a center. I mean, the way, the defense is made to funnel people inside, and then obviously have a shot blocker there to, either block a shot or make that person change their shot. That's the reason why, this team has, there's been nights when teams have gone off from three because of the style of defense that Tom Thibodeau plays. So I think that position is important, and it's ways, there's guys you can maybe get off the waiver wire. There's centers out there that are pretty cheap that you can probably pull in, to give you that insurance. But
okay, would you have that center if we were to get that center? This is the last thing, Sam. If we were to get that center that you're talking about, let's say off the waiver wire at this point in the season, we got a little bit of money saved up, in the buyout market, things of that nature. Do you think that Tom Thibodeau, if knock on wood, this injury to Isaiah Hartenstein is, serious, where, he's going to miss more than a certain amount of games, would you recommend, or would you be on the side of that center who we picking up playing majority of the minutes to help us with that?
It all depends on who it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It all depends, just depends on who it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But, if Hartenstein goes down, I think you got to, I don't know. I'm just not confident with Precious and Jericho. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that, Sam. Well, thanks for taking my call. Yeah. Listen, I think this Knicks team is okay. The Knicks will be fine. They just the front office is working with Thibodeau to make the team exactly a playoff contender. All these young guys, all this development stuff, they're not worried about that. They're trying to contend as soon as possible. And I think that's what based on the situation of the cap space, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do, and I'm confident in them. As contrary to what people think about Uncle Fulio. So,
hey, I'm confident in this front office, man. I think that, I think they have a good understanding of what the team needs, and what they're trying and how to get it, as well as preserve flexibility for the future. So I think they got a pretty good understanding of that.
and it needs to be Evan Fournier's contract. They have to find a way to extend Evan Fournier's contract. If not, then we're talking about them dipping into Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, people who are a part of not necessarily our core, but the makeup of the team. And so it will just be a missed opportunity if they can't extend Evan Fournier's contract, after this year. It could be not making the move at the deadline, picking up Evan Fournier's option, or trading him for a player that can help us now and also has the money moving forward so that we can be able to move. But thanks, Sam. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, Josh.
Nice win.
Yes,
Go
sir.
Knicks.
No doubt. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Be safe.
Yep.
Stay warm. I don't know if it's cold down there where he is. You know what I'm saying? But stay warm. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some things that the front office has got to think about. Hopefully, it's not too serious with Isaiah Hartenstein, and you can get by with Precious and Jericho for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Until Hartenstein is able to come back. I'm pretty sure we'll get an update sooner than later as far as Isaiah Hartenstein. You know what I mean? I think that we will. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks out-rebounded Toronto 61-31. And Isaiah Hartenstein only had 4 rebounds tonight. Right? Julius Randle was on the glass. Precious was on the glass. Josh Hart was on the glass. These guys rebounded the basketball. There's no doubt about that. I don't think just rebounding is the issue. I do think that we would struggle a little bit on the boards. Tonight was a good night, against a small team. When we play bigger teams, I think we would definitely struggle, if we don't find another guy. Or maybe we get lucky and, Precious, steps into his basketball game. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? But tonight, the Knicks dominated the glass 61-31, 27 assists tonight for the Knicks. Even though they had 21 turnovers, they had 27 assists. Toronto had 29. They averaged 29 on the season, the Raptors do. 7 blocks for the Knicks tonight. They shot 54.5% from the field. The Knicks did. Toronto shot 41.3%. 35.9% from the three-point line tonight for the Knicks. Toronto, 32.4%. The Knicks dominated inside against Toronto. 64 points in the paint to Toronto's 50. 16 second chance points for the Knicks. Toronto did lead in fast break points, 21-11. A lot of that is because the Knicks were turning the basketball over. They turned the basketball over time and time again in the first half. Second half, they got it together, though. They got it together, and then you've seen what happened in the second half of the game when they finally got it together. My key play of the night, though, ladies and gentlemen, was in the fourth quarter. My Cash App money play of the night was in the fourth quarter. Toronto, they made a run. They cut the game to 12. After the Knicks had a 20-point lead, Toronto cut the game to 12, cut the lead down to 12. And then you see RJ kick it out to Schroeder. Schroeder lay it up for Boucher, I think that is, and Quentin Grimes gets the block. Brunson finally crams the rebound to OG for the dunk. And he got fouled, ladies and gentlemen. And this right here, after this play, it never got close again. I don't think it ever got closer than 14 after this play, ladies and gentlemen. And then OG goes to the line and knocks down the free throw to put the Knicks up 15. And from here, it was over. And that's an example, though, of OG leaking out. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a good job of leaking out, getting out in transition. The Knicks get a turnover. They get a block. They get a big rebound, getting out in transition. And, when teams guys like that get out in transition, and OG is long, he's athletic, so he's able to finish at the glass. When they get out in transition that way, teams, I got to send less to the offensive glass because they're getting out in transition. Right? And they're scoring. But that was a big play in the game because it was at a point in time when Toronto was, they were getting some energy and they thought they were maybe going to come back. And I think that, ended any thoughts of them coming back right there. Put a stop to it. You know what I'm saying? Put a stop to it. That's my Cash App Money Play of the Game. It's brought to you by my guy, Walter White, who hit me with the Cash App the other day. I definitely appreciate it, Walter. And ladies and gentlemen, you can support the channel by hitting the Cash App, which is $ nothing but Knicks, or through PayPal at paypal.me/nothing-but-Knicks. That information is in the description of the video, and it's also pinned to the top of your YouTube chat. You know what I'm saying? We definitely appreciate any support, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead and support the channel. You can also get one of those Jalen Brunson Captain Clutch T-shirts or hoodies because Jalen Brunson had 38 points tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And, there's been, before the season, there was a lot of discussion or stories or people talking about Jalen Brunson and what he might average on the season. And there were a couple of people who said, Jalen Brunson might average 30 points per game this season. He's averaging like 25. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, over the past few games, he's been dropping 30 a game. He's been dropping 30 a game. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson is, is he going to average 30? Is he going to end up averaging 30 a game for the Knicks? I don't know, but he might get up towards 27, 28. You know what I'm saying? And whether or not he makes the All-Star team, that's big. You know what I mean? Even if he doesn't make the All-Star team, we all know that he's playing at an All-NBA level. You know what I mean? And Julius Randle is also playing at an All-NBA level. To have two guys playing on that level is crazy. But you can see those Captain Clutch hoodies, ladies and gentlemen, right there. They are premium hoodies, premium T-shirts. So make sure you go check them out exclusively at printjurisdiction.com. I just put a link in the chat. I also put a link in the description of the video so that you can go check out those Jalen Brunson Captain Clutch T-shirts or hoodies. All right, make sure you check those out. Now, as for the player of the game, I don't know who the player of the game is. You know what I mean? You can go with Julius Randle. You can go with Jalen Brunson. You can go with any of those guys as far as play. Either one of those guys. I don't know if I have one. Because both of those guys, Jalen Brunson hit big shots when the Knicks needed big shots. Julius Randle hit a couple of big shots, made the right passes. He almost had a quadruple double when it came to those turnovers, though. I will say that. So I think I'm just going to give player of the game to the team. I really think it was a team effort tonight to take out the Toronto Raptors. The next game, the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks will take on the Brooklyn Nets on Tuesday. All right, but it'll be the last of the sub-500 teams, that the Knicks play because right after that they play, not the last of them, but right after that they play the Toronto Raptors. The Denver Nuggets. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. There you go. They play the Denver Nuggets, and you know who the Denver Nuggets are. The Denver Nuggets just beat Boston in Boston. That's the first loss for Boston at home this season. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a tough game, no doubt about it. right? And I'm assuming that they're on a road trip. That's why you go from Denver to New York. All right. After the Knicks play Denver at home, then they play the Heat, then they play the Hornets, then they play the Jazz. And the Jazz, they've been hot lately. February 1st, they play the Pacers, a team that's close to them in the standings. But they got to take care of the Nets first, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? And they may be going into that game small. Right? Isaiah Hartenstein, it looks like I would assume that he's not going to play against the Nets. You know what I mean? Just to give that ankle time to heal. Depending on how severe it is, let me just say that. Depending on how severe it is, I would think he's not going to play against the Nets. You know, if he couldn't return to the game, and maybe he didn't return to the game because the Knicks had the game under control, and they just felt like, hey, no sense in you coming back to the game tonight. Just let it rest. You know what I'm saying? Get some treatment on it. Boom, 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 boom. You know, as far as the Nets, I mean, they got Nick Claxton there at the center spot. You know, I don't think they are incredibly big, right? You got Nick Claxton. Dorian Finney-Smith plays power forward. He's 6'7", right? Nick Claxton, what is he? Is he 7 foot? He's a decent rebounder. It's okay. I don't see him just like dominating the glass if we don't have Isaiah Hartenstein. But obviously when you play the Denver Nuggets, you know who you got over there at the center spot. And he's, that's a big dude right there. Nick Claxton, 6'11", 215 pounds. 6'11", 215. Come on now. Caller, you live. Name me where you're from, please. Hello? Caller, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm all right. I was calling in because I wanted to talk about that guard that we may need.
Uh-huh.
And when I'm thinking, man, I think Murray is just the best option because first of all, he fits everything that you need. From being a starter, running the second unit, 6'5". Jalen Brunson can play off the ball because he can spot up. I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah. Right. And, I think they definitely will. It's just finding the right guy for the right price. And that leaves them set up for the future. Still, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That leaves them set up for the future and, to be able to make moves.
Something else that we need, man, we actually need a 4. We need a big that can score, catch the ball.
A big that can, you mean like in the post?
We need a 4. We need a 4 or a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because every big that we have, they're all the same way.
Right.
So they just rebound or they can just defense. No one can score.
That's true. Hartenstein. Hartenstein is not really a scorer, but
he can score. But if you give him the ball, he can actually score.
Yeah, if you give him the ball, he can post up. He can make a post move. And he's got that little floater in the lane.
Floater.
Right, but he's not a guy that the Knicks look for.
Oh, but what I'm saying is, so when you look at the bigs and then you go to the guards, our guards can spot up and shoot. Well, no one can actually just, back up, hit you with a UTEP 2-step and get to the rack.
Right.
Or nobody can do that. They're all shooters. Right. That's why when Jalen Brunson's in the game, everything works good, and then when he comes out, it's because wing players all shooters. They're all spot-up shooters. They need someone to get them loose.
Right.
So,
Yeah, nah.
and our bigs,
No, go ahead.
and our bigs are the same way as well. They're all dimensional from the guys that's on the bench. You know, I like the young kid that we got, Sims, but you know, he's just like Mitch, identical,
Right.
just smaller. No, and then Ochua, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like him at all. I think he's small to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have no hands. No, I don't know. He's not a. I don't know. I don't think he's the answer.
Nah, not long term
No.
at that center spot. He's not. You know what I'm saying? He's a hustle guy. The Knicks got a bunch of those guys. He's a hustle guy from that position. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. We got a whole bunch of the same type of guys.
Yeah. You know, he's a hustle guy from that position. I mean, when you look at all of our centers are Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein, Achua, Jericho Sims are all the same type of guy for the. You know, Hartenstein is the most versatile of all of them.
There you go.
Right.
All our wing players are the same. And when we had Q and Barrett, was because they can actually get the ball and go one-on-one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They could. I mean, but we had too many issues with that because, you know, we didn't have no size. You know, all the big wings, they dominate us. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, of course we had to do that. So OG, love him. He plays great D. You know, he doesn't need the ball, and he's not tripping over the ball. So that's great.
Right.
We need, I don't think what's the Brogdon? He's good. He's a good player, but I think Murray's just the guy. If you can't get like Murray, better not like Mitchell. Even though Donovan Mitchell's a better player offensively, but I think Murray fits our team better because we can use him more than just one way.
That's true. We can use him in more than one. I mean, you know, Brogdon. You know, I think he can be a distributor too. You know, I definitely think Murray is more versatile than Brogdon. More versatile. My only question is with Murray. I feel like with Murray, you know, it's not necessary that it's, you know, if you get Murray, are you staking your hat and saying, okay, we have our three with those guys?
Yeah, because this is what I believe. I believe you get Murray, he averages his 20. The difference is he can go get that 20 though. He can just average his 20. Now you're equal to Celtics, Milwaukee, where they got three guys that can get you 20 given night. Like they can go out and get their money. Now, when we have those three, and then you add in OG getting his 14 or 15, DiVincenzo getting his 14 and 13, and all that other stuff, match up. We need one more big score. He gets the ball in his hands. That's what we need.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, we'll see what the front office is going to do. They got 2 weeks to make a move, or maybe, you know, to make a move, two moves, or, you know, bring in two guys in one move. You know what I'm saying? They got 3 weeks to get that done. If they don't get it done in 3 weeks, then they're looking on that waiver wire.
Now I've seen something about the boy Kelly Olynyk. Oh, honestly, he'd be better. He'd be great for us because at least stretch the floor. You know what I'm saying? At least you know that they can't leave him open.
Right.
He don't have to be like he might not be the greatest rebounder and all that, but in some places of the game when Randle was, and like so crazy about Randle. I like Randle, but wants to me, he's like he wants to be like a KD or LeBron. The only thing is he don't think like those guys think. Can't think. I mean, he just can't think. He just do some of the boneheadedest stuff in the world. No, he plays hard though.
Right.
I mean,
right.
But somebody like Kelly Olynyk, yeah, I think that'll work. And he actually stretches the floor.
He does. I mean, you know, he would fit with this basketball team. There's no doubt about it. I think the only issue, you know, there's two things. You know what I mean? He's in Utah, right? So, you know, you got to deal with Danny Ainge. That's one. Danny Ainge, and you know, Danny Ainge and Leon don't exactly get along. And then it seems like what the Knicks are trying to do, I don't know how much he makes. I have to look and see how much he makes. It seems like what the Knicks are trying to do is trade for someone who, you know, is making $18 to $20 million, you know, who has a year or two left on their contract so that they can still trade that player for that supposed star, right? And Kelly Olynyk, he makes 12.2 basically, but it expires this year. You know what I'm saying? So if they do that, if they did that, I think it would have to be, I don't want to say have to be, but they would want to do it with another player. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that they're bringing in like a Kelly Olynyk, plus they're bringing in a guard, right? And then, you know, that guard, that other player, you know, that guard, you know, their contract extends beyond 2023, 2024. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, you know, it's possible that you could bring in a guy like Kelly Olynyk, but I think it would be attached to another move. You know, or you know, it'd be two guys coming back with however many going out, 2 or 3 guys going out, you know, to make room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That man, that's. I mean, I'm all over this Murray. Murray so bad it's killing me.
Oh, okay.
I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean,
you know,
listen,
give up 2 second-round picks to get another big that can just shoot it.
Yeah. So from what I read, you know, the Knicks in Atlanta have talked about Murray, and they feel like the price is a little bit too high. This is, I think, from Ian Begley. They feel like the price is high.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that something can't get done, but they feel like the price is high. So according to Ian Begley, a lot of people within the organization like Murray a lot, but they feel like the price is high, you know, with what Atlanta is asking for. So I don't know, you know, I'm assuming it has to do with the picks. And they feel like the price of the picks is too high. You know, so let's see, maybe you know, if no other teams, I'm pretty sure there's other teams interested in Murray, but, you know, maybe the closer it gets to the deadline, if that is the hang up for the Knicks, I think the closer it gets to the deadline, the more the likelihood is that the Hawks come down on the asking price. If they really are intent on moving them. You know, so see what happens.
I can go with you on that.
Yeah. See what happens. Hey, my man, I thank you for the call. I appreciate your time. What's your name?
Right. Marlon.
Say that again?
Marlon.
Marlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marlon, I appreciate the time, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see where it goes from there. It is 11:46. I think I'm ready to get some rest. Y'all know I don't know, my dog, I don't know what they barking at, but it is 11:46. I am about to head off. I'm going to speak with Tony, you know, see if we're going to get a Losers Lounge in tonight. If we do, then you'll get the notification. If not, then we might be taking care of that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We might be taking care of it tomorrow. I appreciate all of your time here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Maybe I will see you tomorrow, even if we do the Losers Lounge tonight. Maybe I see it tomorrow. I do got some other things I got lined up. I got to get done, but we'll see. You know what I mean? And talk about, the possibility of moves that the Knicks could do. But I'm out of here for tonight. Great win for the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Please be safe. It's cold out and it's icy. So be safe if you got to be on the road in the morning. If you don't got to, just stay in the house. You know what I'm saying? And don't go out. Hopefully by Monday, things get a little bit warmer. You know what I mean? It's like 19 degrees here right now. It's ice everywhere. It's slippery. No need to go anywhere. Anyway, I'm out of here. Be peaceful. Be safe. And I'll talk to you soon.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.